world felt a collective sense of excitement and probably some surprise as white smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel last week. We now know who the new Pope is, but what do we know about him? Here to share some insights into Pope Leo XIV, we welcome back theology professor from the University of Portland, David Turnbloom. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me back.
This happened pretty quickly.
It did.
Were you surprised at how soon that white smoke emerged?
Yeah, I mean, it happened very quickly. I didn't think it was going to be that long, but that was faster than I thought, and then even more surprised by the choice.
An American Pope for the very first time. That's quite significant. I mean, what does it mean to Catholics in America?
Well, I think, for one thing, it automatically, as I was talking to someone earlier, said that it kind of makes you almost feel a little bit closer,
sure,
you know, culturally connected. But I will say, I mean, one of the things that my wife reminded me of immediately when I said, there's an American Pope. She's like, isn't this the second one? I was like, no. She's like, well, South American Pope, Pope Francis, you know, and I think that's really important for especially someone like Pope Leo XIV to think about unity as like, all right, what does it mean to be American, which is really about diversity and unity together.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's really a lovely perspective. Well, and what does it say about the church as a whole that there was a decision so quickly?
I mean, I think it's a pretty clear indicator that the cardinals were really trying to focus on someone who's going to be a unifying force, a unifying symbol. And actually in the motto that Pope Leo XIV has chosen, which is, in the one we are one, he's definitely emphasizing this idea of unity. And so I think a quick consensus shows that that's something they were focused on.
It does seem like he is carrying on some of the same ideals of Francis, but they're different in some ways too. Can you tell me about the significance of Leo as his chosen name? Certainly.
So the last time we had a Pope Leo XIII was in the late 19th century and up until 1904. And Leo XIII is most famous perhaps for writing an encyclical, which is a letter from the Pope to the rest of the world, entitled Rerum Novarum, which means new things. And in that encyclical, he really started a tradition known as Catholic social teaching, which is where the Pope writes about values and principles that can help us think about social justice. So that particular encyclical that Leo XIII wrote was really a lot about the dignity of workers, especially during the Industrial Revolution, and that's something that Pope Leo XIV has indicated he cares a lot about in this new type of revolution, which is a digital one, looking at how AI is going to affect the dignity of human beings.
Yeah, so interesting. Well, and we have a Pope who has a digital footprint. We've got some tweets of his, so we know some of his views. I mean, how fascinating is that to you as a scholar to be able to kind of break those things down and go into his brain a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting in our modern time being able to kind of go back and read the things that he's written or published years ago in a way we would never have been able to without a lot of work previously. And so even today I was reading an article that he wrote in 2005 about leadership and stuff that our computers allow us to get to give us a sense of who he is. And I think we can see the development of a very thoughtful and mature leader.
What about some of the silly minutia things that we might think about as he's got family in Chicago? Is he calling home? Are they saying, hey, Robert? What are they saying if they pick up the phone?
I mean, you know, it seems like he's called Bob, you know, by his family. I don't know what I would do. I have two brothers as well, and it would be weird answering the phone and saying, hello, Holy Father. You know, that would be difficult. But I would imagine they immediately start talking about things like the White Sox, you know, things they have in common, and I hope that a Pope from Chicago can turn the White Sox season around a little bit.
There you go. Well, and let's talk about just what the life looks like for him. I mean, as the cardinals enter the conclave and any one of them could be chosen, you're kind of realizing, I'm going in and I might not be coming back out. What is that kind of happening inside your brain if you're experiencing that?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing, but I mean, one of the things that one of the cardinals, Cardinal Tobin, said was after he had cast his vote, he looked over at Bob, is what he said. I looked over him and, you know, I could see his head in his hands, which I think was this moment of awareness, of realizing you're going to have to accept this responsibility, and that comes with a lot of humility. And that's one of the things Leo XIV has written about in the past, is how crucial humility to being a leader is. And I think that that's something that you can kind of see in him already.
Yeah, it is very refreshing. And well, he's been in Peru for quite some time, right? It seems like that community is really celebrating. He's very beloved there.
Yes, I mean, I think that's so important. Also, to one of the reasons he was ultimately chosen is he's not just a citizen of the United States of America, he's a citizen of South America. Spent as much time there as he has, you know, in the United States. And I think that his brother cardinals saw that as an immense gift. gift, someone who has multicultural perspective, who can speak all of these languages
Yeah.
and be a communicator to diversity in a way that celebrates the unity that's there, not by trying to erase diversity.
So we've already had his first Mass. He has addressed some journalists. It does seem like he's kind of making his mark already. What are some things we'll be looking forward to next?
Well, so certainly he's already signaled that focus on AI, which I
Yeah.
think is for everyone a real big concern.
Yeah.
Immense gifts and possible dangers there. I think he's also signaled a lot about the desire to continue Pope Francis's focus on being a synodal church, which is a word that basically means to walk with people. It's a way of listening as a leader, saying, how do I, before I start saying this is what's true and how we should behave, listen to the perspectives of people and then
Yeah.
internalize that.
That's really beautiful. Hey, thank you so much for coming back. It was really lovely talking with you about
Pleasure
this.
being here. Thank you so much.
Okay, we will have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.